Welcome, everybody. So this is going to be our question number 2 from our MRS21 test number 1 review. And so I hope you guys watched the first one. That was a pretty serious question here. Here's the second question, and you expect to see a word problem like this one. Here is a kind of a repeat of a question we did for our lessons. So, but you have to be very careful with these word problems, though, being able to read what they say. And so, let's take a look at this. We'll dissect some of the things to look out for. So Laura is thinking of a number such that the sum of the number and 5 times 2 more than number is 26 more than 4 times the number. Determine the number Laura is thinking. And so what happens is a lot of times when we see a problem like this, we try to read the whole thing out and try to interpret what is being said. However, it gets almost overwhelming. So let's break it down piece by piece. So the very first thing is Laura's thinking of a number. So we'll call the number n. That's n's number. Such that the sum of the number, such that the sum of the number and 5 times 2 more than number is, and at this point this is tells you stop. Now in word problems, is means equals. So I know that everything up from the sum of the number and 5 times 2 more than number is going to be the left side. All right, so let's take a look at this. So it says the sum. So we're adding a couple of things. So somewhere in between, we're going to add plus. The sum of the number, so of the number, and, so now this and means, well, what am I going to add to? So I'm taking the number, and 5 times, now, so how I'm breaking this down, I want to look at piece by piece. And I don't want to look at one giant thing, I want to look at the pieces that form the expression. All right, so the and is kind of break in between the two things you're adding together. The sum of, in this case, the number and 5 times 2 more than number. So 5 times 2 more than a number. So I'm going to multiply something by 5. So definitely be 5 times something. But what? Well, it says here 2 more than a number. Now 2 more than a number is taking something and adding 2 to it. So that'd be n plus 2. So the very first thing I recommend when you read these questions is look for the word is or equals or equivalent to. I mean, that basically that's a break for the equation because you know what the left side will look like. Okay? So now, then from there, you'll break up other things too. You saw the sum, which means that 2 pieces will add each other. And we saw the sum of the number, which we called n. And so now the other piece we're adding will be 5 times 2 more than number. And so some students might ask, well, Mr. Gong, why is it not 5n plus 2? Why not 5n plus 2 instead of 5 parentheses n plus 2? Well, one of the things we should know in this case is that, make sure the font is a little smaller. Okay, so one thing you should know in this case that 5n plus 2 would be the correct expression if we saw the words 2 more than 5 times the number. Okay, so when you see this type of thing, 2 more than 5 times the number, what it really means in this case that we are going to add 2 to something else. 5 times the number. We'll see this phrase used later on. So when you have 5n plus 2, really means the 2 is adding something else. While in this situation, 5 times first, seeing the 5 times first, 2 more number means I'm going to be multiplying something by 5. What am I multiplying by 5? I'm multiplying this expression here, 2 more than a number, which is the number plus 2. Okay. So that's the first part. So we're going to take things piece by piece, all right? So just definitely want to make sure. I'm going to move this over a little bit. I'll move this all a little bit here, so just so we have a little space. Okay, now let's read the rest of this. Is 26 more than 4 times the number? Okay, so we see 26 more than. This means we're adding 26 to something. So we're going to do plus 26. Just like 2 more than 5 times the number means we're adding 2 more than something. So 26 more than, now what is it more than? Well, it says here 4 times, which means I have a 4 times the number, and the number is n. Okay? The most difficult part is not solving the equation. The most difficult part is coming up with the equation. And I tell everyone in this case that, you know, what comes down to is that one of the ways to look at this, that the skill really is coming up with equations, right? From, one of the things that I tried, that I had got my degree in accounting, one of the things I kind of think about this is that there's two types of accounting jobs. You have individuals who are going to just do bookkeeping, just plug numbers into a formula and finding out the output and all. And so, it's kind of like a bookkeeping situation. Well, you have other individuals who are coming up with the formulas that will help you figure out what to plug in. Those individuals are the ones that, it's a higher skill, and that's what we have to work for. All right, so I definitely think in this case, this is a major skill of coming up with an equation. So we have to read carefully, break it down to pieces, okay? So definitely we're noticing different things here. So, all right, so this is the equation we have, and so now time to distribute. So we have to multiply the 5 with the n and the 2, so we get n plus 5n plus 10 is equal to 4n plus 26. Combine like terms, so we have 1n plus 5n is 6n plus 10 equals 4n plus 26. We're going to subtract 4 on both sides because that is the smaller of the two n values on the left side and right side. So we have 2n plus 10 equals 26. I'm going to move this down a little bit so we can get a little more space here. And so we finish up the solving equation by subtracting both sides by 10. So subtract both sides by 10 to get 2n equals 16 and divide both sides by 2. Therefore, the number that she is thinking about is the number 8. Okay? I'll make this full page to see everything here. Okay. So very important to start from the beginning to break things down piece by piece. Here, think of a number, let's label it n. You can call it x if you want to, you call it k, whatever letter you want to use. I would avoid s, only because s looks like a 5, all right? L looks like a 1, so n's okay, x is okay, but sometimes people mistake it for the operation of multiplication though, so we want to break it down to pieces, and the order matters now. So you notice how we saw, even this in situations, so 5 times 2 more than number, that meant that multiplying something by 5, so 5 times 2 more than number means I'm multiplying something by 5. 1 multiplied by 5, 2 more than number, or n plus 2. Here we saw 4 times the number, that means multiplying 4 by the number. Okay, 26 more than means adding 26 at the end. 2 more than number means I'm adding 2 at the end of the number, but of course I'm multiplying the whole thing by 5 after that. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, so I hope this is helpful, breaking down, just sort of take a look at different words and how to kind of almost, sometimes you read it as it is, but, to understand what just kind of how we set up our equations and the words we use to do this now, okay? So just be very careful about our breaking down of our work. Okay, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys this was helpful to you guys. Please leave a like if you found it helpful. Leave questions or comments in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so that, when new stuff comes on, they'll be alerted because you got your own notifications. All right, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope this is helpful. Watch out for question number 3 review, but also watch over question number 1 review. Okay, so yeah, I mean, in this case, the coming up with equations is a super big part of the points on your test. So a lot more than half, definitely more than half of the points of your test of that question will be coming up with the equation. Okay, and then of course solving equations is going to be the other portion of this. All right, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you guys later. Take care and be safe.